Hey, I'm Dan, and this is Dan's Planes.
I saw one on Craigslist.
Here we are on Warbird Day. We're finally going to maiden the World Models Zero. I tried the other day, weather wasn't good, and then I tried the other day again, and had to do some engine dialing in, and also it would not track straight on the ground, so we've got those two issues figured out. And then it was too dark, I wasn't comfortable flying it. So today we're going to do the maiden in front of everybody.
Well, hell, we had a Camaro.
About 8 out of 10 right now.
Oof. Ah.
See it, I can finally see the yellow. So then I was trying to, levelize the yellow. So synopsis is, she was very, very, very underpowered. Not sure why, because the RPM sound like they are there. Then once I got down at that end, I had real trouble trying to see it. So that was not fun. The engine died out just momentarily, and it wasn't me. So that's when we decided to circle a couple times, get lower, and then bring it in. But then when I was bringing it in, I just could not see it until I finally saw the yellow on the leading edge of the wings. Thankfully, I was going to land in the runway, but by the time I could see the airplane, I was already going towards the grass, and I didn't want to wave off and have to go around again, especially being underpowered. So I decided to land, but landing, I don't know if I did a crappy job or if the gear collapse was the issue from hitting dirt clumps in the grass. So either way, it is what it is, and she'll survive to fly another day with a cracked canopy. That is all. So now that I'm back home and I've reviewed the video in slow motion, what it looks like to me is I was looking pretty level and pretty good. Then at the very last millisecond, the right wheel came down just before the left wheel, and when it did, I had been level, the airplane had been level, but when the right wheel touched, the nose was slightly downwards just in that last millisecond. And I think the grass caught it and or dirt caught it and slowed it down on that right wheel, which made the left wheel smack down kind of harder, which the left wheel or the left retract then collapsed, and that collapsing with the right wheel getting hung up on the dirt and the grass slowed it down faster than the momentum it had, which is what flipped it over. I didn't see an actual prop strike, so I think it had too much momentum, and those things happened. So looking at what happened and why I didn't fly it again that day, besides being afraid of it being underpowered and being afraid to fly it in general because of that, on the left gear, this easy connector here that was installed goes onto the push rod of the retract and then goes through the servo arm here. So the part that goes through the servo arm, the kind of, let's see if I can get my light in there. Well, the pin that's in here pulled out of here. I think it's a press fit, so I can probably press it back together, and I'm going to try that because of all the 2 boxes of easy connectors I have, The only one that's big enough to fit the push rod is this guy, but if I use this bolt on top instead of one of these, it's way too tall because this silver piece is taller than that silver piece, and then I've got this sticking out, so that ends up hitting the top of my wing balsa. So I either have to carve out balsa to make room for this bigger one, or I have to try to put a set screw in there instead of a bolt. I don't know if the threads will be the same, or I have to try to push this little pin back into here to reuse the original one, or I have to try to find this lower profile one that would be big enough for my push rod but low profile enough to not hit that top balsa and buy it from somewhere. So my first option is going to be to try to push this back in, and we'll see if I feel comfortable that that's going to work. The next option will be to put a set screw into here to see if the threads will work or not, and see how tall it'll be, and maybe cut some away of the balsa. So this is the failure point that happened on the landing gear, which is no big deal. All in all, considering everything, having this little piece break and then my canopy broke, having those two things happen, considering how underpowered it was, the blip in the engine that I heard that I thought created a dead stick, this could have been a much worse maiden flight, but it wasn't, so I'm thankful for that. So I'll try these other things, see how it goes. Okay, so I was able to press fit this pin back in, but when I did, I press fitted it all the way in, which I didn't want to do. Then when I pulled it back out and tried to only press fit it partially, the hole was then too widened so it would not press fit. So that connector is out. So this bigger connector, I've replaced the top bolt with a set screw. I was able to find one with the right threading. So we're going to try that one rather than try to buy this replacement, because I'd have to find the right push rod diameter hole inside of this easy connector, plus find the low profile. So I'm just going to do this one, and if that means I have to chip away some balsa, then I'll chip away some balsa, but problem solved. So that's what's going on with this one. And then a buddy of mine, Mike, he has a friend who has a fuselage and cowl and canopy, should have a canopy. So Mike is going to bring those for me at Dino's. So that was very kind of him, and I'm sure they will get some good use. So all in all, that's the maiden flight. Broke this little piece and broke the canopy. So I've had much worse maiden flights, but I was really scared of that low power. I really thought that I was going to bring the nose too high and cause a stall the whole time I was flying it. So I was on pins and needles, and my pucker factor was 10 out of 10. I can tell you that. But she survived. So now the question's going to be, do I just fly it the way it is, which makes me fly it as a slow scale warbird, but I've got no power to get out of trouble? Or do I throw another engine on it, like maybe get a DLE something, or I've got a DA50. I don't know if that would fit in the nice round cowl of the Zero. It might be okay, so I might do that. It sounds like besides my brand new cowl, I'm going to have another cowl from Mike, so I'd be able to cut up any cowls I need to for the much larger engine. And I think I'm going to add just a touch more front weight if I don't change engines, because it did just feel a little bit tail heavy. But that concludes the maiden. Thanks for watching. If you feel you got some benefit out of this, please give me a like and subscribe. And if you feel you learned something of value, You're welcome to tip something at my Patreon, which is in the links in the description. It's kind of like throwing $1 in a guitar case when you pass by somebody playing guitar on the street. Just helps me decide if I should keep going with these videos or not. But either way is fine. I wish you the best blue skies and good speed.